Hello everyone, welcome to a new video on the channel. Today I am going to be showing you how I wrap up each month in my bullet journal and talk about my February reads. So stick around, grab yourself a drink maybe, let's get straight into it. So at the moment you can see that I'm setting up my favourite read of February on the screen, and that was The Second Star to the Left by Megan Van Dyke. It was my favourite book that I've read probably this year actually. I really enjoyed it. Along with Second Star to the Left, I had 5 other 5-star reads this month, so I'm thinking that was pretty good. I'm pretty stingy with my 5-star ratings at the moment. I'm not too sure why, but it has definitely become something that I am coveting a little bit more than usual. And I gave out 7 4-star ratings, 2 3.5-star ratings, and 6 3-star ratings. So overall, still reading a lot more quality books than I have in other months, so that was really good. I read a total of 20 books over February, and that it wrapped up to 6,974 pages. There were 18 books, 2 novellas, and we've also got some other stats. So average rating was 3.8, and I'm not too sure if that's higher than January or not. I'll put that on the screen. And also I read 8 fantasy books, 1 graphic novel, 11 romances, which is pretty average for me, 15 adult books, which is higher than usual, 3 YA, and 2 new adult books. 14 of the books that I read were ebooks and 6 physical. So as you can see, I was just setting up that first page, and now we're getting into my summary, which is basically putting down all the stats that I've just read out to you. And then on the page next to it, I will be doing a collage. I do this every month. I like to see the books in order of ranking, so what one I liked the most to least favourite. It just helps me at a glance when I want to refer back to whatever I read in that month to see what books I liked a lot and what books I didn't like. So my top 5 books of February were Second Star to the Left by Megan Van Dyke, like I said, Spin the Dawn by Elizabeth Lim. I really loved that book. The graphic novel Volume 1 of Lore Olympus. I cannot wait for Volume 2. It Happened One Summer by Tessa Bailey, which was amazing and very spicy. I actually have the second book on my shelf already, and I'm very excited to get to it. And The Prince of Secrets by A.J. Lancaster. This is a gaslamp fantasy, and I absolutely love this world. It's just so different from anything that I've ever read. It is the second book in the 𝓕𝓸 series, and I will bleat on about this series until I cannot speak anymore. It's just so good. Other than that, some really good favourites were The Witch Collector by Carissa Weekes, Radiance by Grace Draven. I read the first book in the Crescent City saga, which is House of Earth and Blood, and The Prison Healer by Lynette Noni. It's the first book in that series. They were all some really good reads as well. I gave all of those 4 stars. I won't go through the rest because you'll be able to see them on the screen, but they were definitely some great reads. I did have some not so great reads this month as well, and they were actually all arcs, which was quite disappointing that my arcs were quite low on the ratings, aside from Second Star to the Left. That was an arc, and obviously I've said it 1,000 times already in this video, it was my favourite book. So yeah, it wasn't such a great month for arcs, and I'm a little bit disappointed by that because in January I had a really good time reading some arcs. Nevertheless, I did enjoy some of them as well. There were 2 that I gave 3 stars to that were okay. To Get to the Other Side by Kelly O'Lurt, and The Sunken City by Emma Noyes. Her last name is really difficult to pronounce. I liked both of those books. There was a lot that I didn't like in them, but I definitely enjoyed them a lot more than the others that were lower on the list. You'll be able to see in a moment how I set up these books in order. I like to print them all out and stick them in on like a collage. This is something I like to do at the end of each month. Like I said, it's very visual and I enjoy it so much. So now I am moving on and filling in those stats in the other two pages that have stat spaces. So this is the monthly view, and again just repeating that. I like to have it at the end there so I can have a quick look while I'm at the collage, but also I have a bit of a repetition here where I've got to go through and check other things as well to make sure that I've got those stats down so I can put them into the yearly stats, which we'll be doing very, very soon. And after that, we will be looking at my bookshelf so far. And I'm really excited with how it's looking. It's doing really well. I currently am filming this on the 7th of March, and I'm one book away from 50 books already this year, which is just a crazy number to me. I didn't think that I'd ever get this far this soon, but I guess I've been reading a lot lately and a lot more than usual, or at least a lot that I didn't expect to go through. Anyway, it's been really fun watching the colours come together. Like I said in my February um, not February, my March setup video. I will be sharing a video in the middle of this month just showing how my setup is so far, and I think that I'm sharing that from the end of February, so you won't see where March is, except for I think I filmed it on the 1st like I did this one. So yeah, you won't see that until another flip through, but it was just January and February's set up so far and how it's working and what's not working. This is what I do to fill in a book on the shelf. This was the book that I read on the 1st of March, and I always mark the new month with the white pen just to make sure I know where it is. I then move into my A to Z challenge and 22 books in 2022, and you're about to see me make a mistake. I have to go and fix it that I've only just noticed now as I'm rewatching this video. I was able to put in another book under T for the A to Z challenge, but I put the wrong author, so that is definitely something that I need to fix. And then I moved into my own TBR. I haven't updated this properly since the start of the year, so this is just a whole bunch of me filling in all the books that I've brought so far in January and February. I have so far brought 20 books for those 2 months, and I've brought 2 more in March. So 22 books already this year. It is out of control. I'm going to need to do something to slow this down. My goal is to not go over 5 books this month. That was my goal last month and I doubled it. So fingers crossed this month I can keep it down. I do know I have to buy 1 book for a birthday present at the end of March, but I'm not going to count that into my list because I'm not keeping it. I've already got a copy of it on my shelf. So yeah, lots of books that I need to stop buying, but it's really hard when you want to read them all. And so this whole plan is I'm going to try and do some sort of game where I read through the books that I've got already before I go and grab anything from the store, except for books that are from auto-buy authors. I know that I want to buy one by Jennifer L. Armentrout that's coming out this month, but I'm actually going to hold off and get it at a later date because I'm not quite yet ready for it. And I'm only on book 2 of the series, and I need to read that one and 2 others before the next book. So there's no rush for me to get it in March. So hopefully I can get that in April and sneakily make that number be lower. But that is pretty much it. Thank you so much for stopping by today. I hope that you have enjoyed this little look into how I set up the end of my month or finish it off. This one's a little bit longer than usual because I wouldn't have to fill in all those books that I brought if I had kept up on it. And I hope that you enjoyed getting some stats from me. Let me know if you'd like that stats video and the wrap up of February to be different from watching me fill in my book. I didn't know whether or not to just sit down and have some books on display and then go through the stats that way like I have done in the past, or try and mix 2 videos together so you're watching something that I'm doing and listening to my wrap up. Please let me know and I will try to adapt to whichever one suits everyone best. And yeah, I'm really excited that I was able to read 20 books over February. Let's see how we go over March. Bye everyone!